Kilo 404 Boxing and More. Shout out to the LDBC. Shout out to New Media. Welcome back to the channel to my subscribers and repeat viewers. If you're new to the channel, welcome to the channel. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, I ask that you please subscribe. Hit that bell icon. If you're feeling the content, please hit that like button. Drop a comment in the comment section. So Eddie Hearn is reported to have said that he thinks a fair split for Deontay Wilder versus Anthony Joshua would be 65-35 in Joshua's favor. I think he said if Wilder Fury does like 500,000 buys, then he thinks 60-40 in AJ's favor would be in order. And if Wilder Fury does 1 million or more pay-per-view buys, that he thinks that 50-50 will be a fair split. I'm not even gonna really delve too far into, you know, what I think about the splits as opposed to if they're fair or not fair. And you know what I'm saying, when it comes to that, I just want to talk about the first thing I want to talk about is this. If Eddie Hearn is saying 35-65 is a fair split for Anthony Joshua versus Deontay Wilder right now, I'd like to know what changed from that 15 million flat fee he was offered. I mean, at this point, I mean, basically when he says right now, that kind of implies that he means even if Wilder wasn't fight Fury and he just agreed to fight AJ in April. So if you take the Fury fight off the table, nothing's changed. That's the same guy that you offered. The only thing happened is AJ fought Vivek. So this is the same guy that you felt like a 15 million flat fee was commensurate of what you felt like he deserved. But now, with nothing having changed, you're saying the same guy deserves a 35% split, which is probably that would have been a negotiation starter a year ago. You know what I'm saying? I feel like had that been presented to Wilder from jump, they'd already be on the way to their second fight by now. I mean, to me, Eddie just exposed himself in these flat fee offers he was throwing out there. You know, which originally the first flat fee offer was 12.5 million because he felt like he was counting Wilder's pocket, thinking he knew what kind of money Wilder had been making and what kind of purses he was bringing in. So he figured, okay, we'll just give him X amount of times his biggest recorded purse or publicized purse, and he'll jump on it. Well, that didn't happen. But see, this is the same guy who came out and made offers to these PBC fighters, and they basically laughed in his face and told him he gonna have to come better than that, because the reality is what Eddie thought they were making or thinks they make and what they make aren't the same thing. So that's why those guys will turn them down. So you know, I feel like he undervalued Wilder, and now that Wilder's about to fight Fury, and they have this April date, and they have the zone probably putting pressure on them, saying, "Hey Eddie, this is a fight you promised us when we made that deal to give you all this money to try to, you know, build your brand in America and help us launch our app in America. You know, we need that fight." So I feel like now he's trying to be a little more realistic. But that said, and listen, don't get me wrong, I don't care what they fight for. I don't care if both fighters get $10 million a piece, and the rest of it goes to charity. I don't care. I mean, honestly, what they make. But I know that when I want to see a fight, and I know that people are putting up roadblocks to prevent a fight by making BS offers, then it's hard for me to just ignore that, because I know that's not going to get the fight done. So that said, you know, I feel like, if Wilder and Fury do over 1 million pay-per-view buys in America, as crazy as it sounds to some people, I think it's going to be a hard sell to try to convince Wilder and his team that they need to come to the UK for the fight and give up 50% of the overall revenue of the fight. I mean, I think at that point, the play has been totally taken away from Matchroom. And I think at that point, you need to be looking at a fight in the U.S., which has already been established is going to bring in more revenue than any fight in the UK. And I think at that point, they need to let Al Heyman and Shelly Finkel run the show. And even if it is a 50-50 split, a 50-50 split in the U.S. gives both guys a bigger slice of a bigger pie. So, that's my take on it. I don't know that that'll happen. I don't know that, Deontay Wilder may beat Tyson Fury and come out as, to tell his team that, hey, if he offers anything over a certain percentage, we'll go ahead and take it. You know what I'm saying? Or he may say, something on the contrary. So, it all remains to be seen. But the reality is, if you can't put the cart before the horse, because Wilder has a fight in front of him that's not a gimme. He needs to take care of business and get Tyson Fury out of the way, and then go from there. But like I said, with Eddie now admitting that 35% is what he think is a fair split, then I guess at the same time he's telling anyone who's really paying attention that, yeah, I know I was throwing out some offers out there that were non-starters, and we didn't really want to fight, which is what I've said all along. A flat fee of a fight for a fight of that magnitude is a non-starter. And honestly, the fact that Wilder was about to take $15 million and they didn't jump on that and make everything transparent and crystal clear to get that deal done so that they could have fought Wilder this year, that was just, greedy on their part, because they just had to get that Povetkin fight in to get one more nice payday in prior to fighting Wilder, which is what Eddie said all along. Can we squeeze in 2 or 3 more no-risk fights? That's what he said. No risk was Eddie Hearn's phrase, not mine. So, I think the bottom line is, I know a lot of UK fans believe everything Eddie says, and he say one thing one day and they're riding with him. He'll say the exact opposite next day, and they're riding with him, and they totally dismissed that the day before he said something totally opposite. But I'm telling y'all, Eddie's been trying to take y'all for a ride. I just been unwilling to ride with him. You know what I'm saying? Because I know what's up. You know what I'm saying? I know what's going on. Been watching the sport of boxing way too long to fall for the nonsense. You know what I'm saying? The bottom line is, when these guys are ready to make these fights, they'll make the fight. And I think, right now, Eddie may be ready to make the fight, and he may be becoming a little more realistic about what it's going to take to make the fight. But I'm hopeful that Wilder beats Fury, and after that they can come together and get the fight done. But at the end of the day, if they don't come together and get it done, oh well, I'm still going to support Wilder, tune in and watch him fight. I'll tune in and watch AJ fight whoever he's fighting. At this point, I still haven't seen anything to make me want to buy the Zone app, so subscribe to that app. So I'm still not doing that until they give me something I want. I don't care to see Canelo fight anybody, to be honest, and because Canelo for years hadn't fought the guys I wanted to see him fight. So I never tune in to watch him fight as far as buying a pay-per-view. Only pay-per-view I've ever bought that Canelo was on was the fight against Floyd. Other than that, I've never paid for a Canelo pay-per-view. I'm not buying an app just to support Canelo. Especially when he's fighting guys like Rocky Fielder. So, I'm going to get out of here. Shout out to LDBC. Shout out to New Media. Thanks for listening to my video. Feeling the content, please hit that like button. Drop a comment in the comment section. Peace.